Nival_Lanyon has claimed first. For this stream.
Kicking off your workday with a fresh-baked feline frenzy.
You're watching and listening to Nyongo Bongo Dongo.
Now let's get this bread.
Good evening, Yan pals. Actually, now we're a little bit. What my tracking went hell in a handbasket there. What the hell's going on here? Let's try to figure out what's that first. Why does it keep happening every time I do that? Oh yeah, I think we're back in action now, and we're not. We'll get to that point. Working just a second ago, as tends to happen. It's still connected to the phone. Okay, now I think we're good. All right, good as everybody as always. Thank you for joining me. A little bit of an impromptu time slot here. So I tried to do this yesterday morning. Now, I know it may have been a little bit of an unconventional time, as I realized something as well, is that when I used to do these little convention update things, at least when I used to put the calendar together, I think it's probably why majority of people were actually there last. Well, that is literally the reason why majority of people were there last time. They actually wanted to see the schedule being made, the convention schedule being made, which I decided to stream just as a convention draft thing. I think it was in like January or something. That was already after I switched to the Emoti model, but long before I debuted my proper model, because my debut was March 9th. The con was back in February. So that being said, I did try and shift it to here for now. See if we actually get some people who are interested in con updates. But before that, of course, it is currently 7:23 p.m. on the West Coast on Friday, November 8th. Now, because it is a Friday, y'all know what that means. And as per tradition, let's roll a fucking clip.
It's Fuck Friday, you fucking losers. It's Fuck Friday. It's Fuck Friday, you fucking losers. It's Fuck Friday. It's Fuck Friday, you fucking losers. It's Fuck Friday. It's Fuck Friday, you fucking.
Happy Flat Fuck Friday, everybody. Now, before I get too far into it, I totally didn't forget. Actually, I totally did. Before we get too far into it, of course, I want to congratulate Nivel for being the first. Good afternoon, early morning, Nivel, considering where you are. Congratulations on being the first as well. Cat'll get to see you as well. And that's all I got so far. But yeah, so the TLDR is that, what is ever TLDR with me, right? So long story short is that I decided to try and move this to, now. I was supposed to do it like an hour and a half ago. But went to take my girlfriend to pick up her prescription, which tends to take a little bit of a while just because of the nature of the prescription that it is. And then we went to order pizza afterwards, which for one is delicious. But I also I tried to get it or ordered like as early as possible, but of course that pushed like 20 minutes before the stream time. And me being me, for the weekend I like to I tend to usually grab a bubble tea on the way to pick up pizza. So I ended up picking the pizza but a little bit 10 minutes late. So that's why I got up and started 15 minutes late on this one, because I initially was supposed to do it at 6. Then with everything I had going on with the prescription stuff, also did a little bit of grocery shopping. By the time we got back and got everything sorted out, it was supposed to be closer to 7. I anticipated it to be closer to 7. But, my dehumidifier is back on the background. I just need to turn that off for the cookies. It's a little bit chilly. Because also the fan is blowing on me from that, what that is. Yeah, so ended up a little bit late after the time that I quoted. just like of all the times that I put it together. Hey, well, good to see you. Welcome to chat. Welcome to a happy Friday morning. Happy Friday evening, I should say. Mish, there we go. Still potatoes. Nice. What you got cooking with the potatoes? That being said, I know you're one of my panelists that we have happening for a little convention this coming February. That being said, whether you're lurking or working, whoever you are on the chat, normally I don't call them my lurkers, but if anybody, I just need a roll call here. If anybody here is here for updates specifically regarding SakinaCon 2025 in Victoria, BC, Canada. I don't really have. For one, I kind of had something that could do in the background, or at least in lieu of that. But considering there's a pizza with my name on it right now, I might just do a quick raid out, and we'll come back in the overnight, get some stuff. Hey, caught a branch. Hey, I was gonna say the apple isn't far. I was gonna try and make a joke about branch of trees, but the brain isn't braining right now. It didn't really work out, but good, but decent catch there, I should say. But yeah, so the TLDR at least. Well, of course we know that. At least we know the dates of that convention now. February 15th to 17th. That is a Saturday to Monday, as opposed to Friday to Sunday. Which would have been technically the weekend after that, but what happened for that is there's an overlap with another. More general, more corporate convention that has kind of come into our area, so to speak. Now, I know they've been running for a little bit, so far for a few years. I can't remember exactly when they started, but it's been. Actually, no, wait, no, it's on the mainland. Sorry. So they've been around for a while, but they used to have dates that were like in their own area. Then slowly and more they started moving into like our date range for some reason. I don't know why, because it's like of all the. Any and all, honestly, however you wish to perceive me, if you wish to do so. However you perceive me, if you wish to do so, is the way I'd like to put it. Really, whatever the hell you want. Because I know as a Bobby Nikki VTuber, of course, I'm presenting IRL while running a female model. So, I mean, again, whatever you want me. I don't really mind either way. I'm open to everything. Within reason, allegedly. Anyway. But so, yeah. Long story short is, yeah, so our convention is February 15th to 17th. And, well, I can at least give answers of authority on the programming department and at least try and give some clarity on what might be happening with other departments. What I can say for sure, though, is, so the building that we don't have is going to be the engineering computer science building, which we don't have. But we still have the Bob Wright for our main auditoriums. Our last year's setup was Bob Wright main auditorium, main and secondaries as our first stage and second stage respectively. Third one, why female model? Why the hell not? In the words of the great Yoko Taro, I just really like girls, and so some of us we're known as Bobby Nika VTubers. Some of us tend to be male or male presenting IRL, and we appreciate the female form. Some of us like to run female models, and we appreciate beautiful things. And hey, women are beautiful, right? And so some of us like to. It's like if you're in a video. Yeah, exactly. If you're in a video game sometimes, or if like Final Fantasy, whatever the hell, and you have the ability to choose your own character, you can create your own character. Now, if you've played Nier Automata, you'll probably get a good experience with this. Is that if you're gonna be staring at a character for however long, like sometimes you just don't really want to stare at. You just don't really feel like staring at a dude the whole time, right? And so, like, kind of similar principle to this when we have the opportunity to kind of change to kind of like present our character however we want. Some of us like to run female models, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people tend to go full immersion with like a voice changer or whatever. I do not, because I am of the belief that I wish to, despite the fact that I may not look like this in real life, I still try to be as authentic as possible. In both how I present myself on stream and off stream, of course. So at least you get some
dangly parts.
Speaking of which, good to see you, Louis, as well. Thanks for checking in. Hey, so that's fucking octopus. I love that thing. Yeah, so you can find out more about that. You can either click my team tag or just look up. Actually, no, clicking the team tag is probably the best way to find more of us. Actually, figure out what the hell we are. Well, good to see you. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great Israel Niggers to EPs. Enjoy your rest of your weekend as well, and all the best to you. Anytime, ciao and meow. But for those of you for your con stuff is so the buildings that we have, the Bob Wright, and we don't have the ECS, but instead of the ECS, we have the McLaurin, which we had that last back in 2017. The David Lamb Auditorium is as far as I can consider is a fucking death trap. But we have that as our third stage room, and I'm probably gonna put that as a lower priority room because the main ones I want to run. I don't know if I have a room to run a full setup in the secondary auditorium in Broadbrae because it's a little bit of a smaller room, but I know for sure we'll have all the main setup in the first room. Now, I know that. Well, for one of the main events that normally runs directly after the opening ceremony's Fandemonium will not be returning this coming convention. They stated the reasons. I'm totally respectful of that, and I wish them all the best. But one thing I would like to see myself as well is that after maybe about like, I've been pitching this idea for like almost half a decade now. Is I want to see Uminati Taiko. I want us to have taiko drums at our con. That is my personal thing. I know that's a big thing that a lot of people. I know that's been a big thing. A lot of events as well. Even the summer event that is run by a different group has that same taiko group in our event and their event, I should say. And they're amazing. Our big thing is Japanese animation and culture. I'd like to see more culture at that thing. And taiko drums are some of the most like quintessentially Japanese culture thing you can get, and like those guys are amazing. But anyway, so yeah, in terms of the main stages, we still have, as much as I would love to have, what my plan was if ECS was still available, because that main auditorium in there had a raised stage. I wanted to try and move all our main stage events back into that, because the main stage is it's much more a theatrical thing for one thing, but also raised stage means better visibility. You don't get half your costume buried underneath the desks on the floor level stage, or like the floor level presentation area, in the Bob Wright rooms. Which me also kind of running the logistics of the cosplay contest and also running the swimsuit showdown is kind of a big part of that. But that aside, so unfortunately we don't have the opportunity to have a raised stage this year. But such is the nature of how construction timing works. Or at least we're kind of just lucky to get something, at least from the venue. We all know that our current venue provider has been the bane of our existence for however long we had to deal with them since the assumption. We had the moment we think we're getting a lucky break with them. I know, right? Hey, Ali, good to see you. Welcome to Child Scene, but I'm happy Friday evening. Sorry, I should say. Good evening to you. Looking forward to the weekend. Good to see you. I don't know how much you caught before, but yeah. So dates are February 15th and 17th. And the buildings that we have are, construction. They decided to, I think it's going to be something like 5 years or so. What they said is it's going to be a lot more than a year for them to actually put that building back together. Because what they're doing, it sounds like, is they're tearing down the front fascia of it, and they're expanding it out to basically the edge. And basically, I mean, you can if you like. It's not really necessary. It's basically just an extension. It's more just an informational Q&A session, I should say. It only keeps the buzz. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you popping in. It's good to see you as always. I enjoy getting to see you as well. I just think, basically. So yeah, TLDR is I want to try a little bit different timing. I'm also ended about an hour and a half later than I actually wanted to run this, but it's mainly for the locals who are interested in convention information for a local anime convention that we have. Give me a sec. Now, I do just want to give a heads up. Mish, I would actually prefer if you not quote me word for word on this, because there is a bit of my personal opinion thrown in there that I don't want to be seen as like representative of the convention itself. Because I'm not the one who runs I'm not the one who runs the entire thing. I'm just the head of the programming department. The audiovisual department as well by extension. Well, I am that literally. I run I run a shit ton of stuff, but I don't run the entire convention. Well, Ali, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That honestly means a lot, because I know you're a fairly sizable content creator. So let me take a peek. Let me just take a little peek at your because I've known you for a bit as well, and it's like, well, I really like it for one. I really appreciate that, and I gotta say, it's been a wild ride in the VTubing space for one thing. Hey, honestly, like, here's the thing. Even if I tailor my chats not always for necessarily the purpose of like, you don't have to be fully fair enough. Appreciate that. But yeah, like, you don't have to be an active participant in my chat just to be not as I on here a little bit, but Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I know your some of your other handles as well. But I just want to say I do really appreciate it. Here, there you go. I do really appreciate that coming from you, especially. So thank you. It's been a while. I did not expect to be ending up here where I am right now. In a VTubing, for one, doing like VTubing in general, and everything that I've like, all the stuff that like, I don't really want to say achieved, but all like the milestones that I've hit, and like I wasn't expecting to do that. I wasn't even expecting to be here doing VTubing in one thing. This was just by accident, like literally. Like those of you who may not know the backstory of how I got in the first place. It's basically just a joke to play on my my convention planning counterparts for a video planning meeting for planning that was supposed to be for last year's like summer event mini one. And I just kind of got more and more into it eventually, and it was like, well, fuck it, I already had the set. I might as well actually try doing it seriously. And I actually loved it. And then yeah, back in October, I was like, you know what, this is actually something I might actually be able to take seriously and actually be able to make some, like, find something in here. And so I decided to actually commission a proper model. The model you see before you right now, this lovely floofy go right in front of you. And lo and behold, you know, I'm actually getting places with it, and I find it incredibly fulfilling. Funny fact is that as well is that like, one of the things that I've loved most about, I'm glad it can inspire you. I'm glad it can. Hey, I'm glad it can be a source of inspiration for literally anybody. Anything that I can do that anyone else sees as inspiring. I'm glad that I can be one of those people for sure. Because I enjoy helping people, you know, become the best of what they can possibly be. Right, to reach their full potential, so to speak, basically. So it's an honor for it's an honor for me to be able to inspire anybody. But yeah, so back to invention stuff. Yeah, the building's supposed to be renovated. What they're expanding the front end of the building out to like the ring road. I think it's gonna be that far. 'Cause I know they've torn up the entire lot in front of it. They've torn up the parking lot beside it by the building, the other half of the building. And yeah, so it's major production. It's been like that since last year too, and so now it's underway, I should say, but it's still gonna be a while before it's actually done. So unfortunately, as much as we enjoyed that building, now that especially once they actually gave Pepper cell service in it, we're not gonna be getting it back for at least half a decade. It seems like, because I don't know when exactly it's gonna be reopening. But in lieu of that, we have the Bob Wright, the buildings, the two main auditoriums in that. I'm not sure where we're going to be putting registration yet. If it's going to be in the Bob Wright or if it's going to be in McLaurin. McLaurin, like I said, is going to be our other building. Because I don't have the floor plans yet for that building, I know at least what our 3 main auditoriums are going to be. I don't quite know yet what our panel rooms are going to be, but I think I'm going to be running the setup again of 3 main auditoriums and 4 panel rooms. Because last year we tried to run 3 main auditoriums and 5 panel. We didn't have enough content to fill all 5 panel rooms alongside the auditoriums. So we did have the downsides just to kind of condense things a bit more and give us like a full weekend schedule, which is fine. It's something you just got to do every now and then. Better than having too many things spread out and not enough time to have them all fill it, right? But I think, depending on how large the secondary auditorium is, I might not have any. As I know for sure I'm going to have speakers and lights in the main auditorium. That is a given. That is always going to happen. A secondary one, especially because it's right beside it, might not do that. Might just have it amplify the stock house system with just do the wireless mics amplifying the stock house system like I normally do in that room. And the McLaurin room, from what I remember back in 2017, we never had proper, like, we never had like the rental setup. We had kind of same thing as the secondary auditorium in Bob Wright. We had wireless mics and a mixer that fed into the house system. I don't see any need for extra amplification in that room just because of the way it is. It's super tiny. It's also very steep, which is why I would hate to run the Cosmic Autos in there again, which we are not doing, by the way, because we still have the Bob Wright. Thank fuck. But yeah, so it's gonna be a mix. It's definitely gonna be a mix of three stages. At least the main having proper sound and lighting. The rest probably just have the stock system, which I know we have a lot of idle groups that play as well. And so depending, as I know, at least on Well, day 2, typically the Saturday. To this one going to be the Sunday because Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We usually monopolize the entire main stage on the second day. Ah! Thanks for the hydrate. I shall consider the beverage. And so for that, I think we're just going to be running a mix of we're just going to be running a mix of 3 auditoriums, I should say. I got to stop using the word main auditorium because that only applies to one room. So 3 auditoriums, 4 panel rooms. Panel rooms are going to be TBD, depending on what the floor plan says, because still got to find a room to put still got to find room to put all the video game stuff and a staff room and cosplay repair station, who are thankfully coming back. Obviously not announced yet, but it's kind of a given. Actually, have they been researched yet? Okay, well, don't quote me on that. They might be coming back. I have no confirmation yet if they actually will be. The first thing we got to do after confirming the event, we got to confirm all the venues first before I start reaching out to people. So CRS is a most likely, not confirmed, but we are at least trying to find them space in the meantime. That is the important part. And so the smaller panel rooms, the non-auditorium panel rooms, those rooms, based on how we ran the rooms in ECS. Now, it has been a while since I've seen the rooms because we haven't been in that building in over 7 years. It'll be 8 years. Well, this coming convention, we've been in there, and I haven't touched the building since. So I would assume, though, that they are not the kind of room. They are small enough rooms that amplification would not be necessary, so that there's no point in putting microphones in the smaller panel rooms again. We haven't done that in a while, and because our audiovisual team run by me, it doesn't always have the manpower that it did back in the earlier days. We kind of divide that room up. We kind of divide the split up between us and ConOps, where we take care of the main auditorium. We take care of the auditoriums. ConOps takes care of the panel rooms. And it kind of just works off for both of us, because all they really need to know is how to hook up their laptops to the house system, or whatever they're bringing in to hook up to the house system, and then they're good to go. So that's really simple enough for that. But so it's gonna be mix of 3 auditoriums, maybe 4 panel rooms. Still gonna be run through SCED for the main thing. But I know the biggest thing this year as well was that for the presentation of the actual schedule itself through SCED. Previously, we had that embedded tried to have that embedded on the website in like an iframe. But last year we got a lot. Like I say this as well myself. I saw this as well myself, just based on how I tried to run the website, or at least run it on the website. Was that normally the page auto formats? Of course, when you run it, when you access the schedule straight from SCED, normally it auto formats to the size of the window you're running it on, which makes sense. But when you're running it in an iframe on an existing website elsewhere, it doesn't scale properly. So we did get a lot of complaints about that, which are absolutely justified. So at least what we're doing for that is, rather than having the main schedule embedded in the website itself, we're just going to include I'm just going to include a hyperlink in the menu that links to the SCED page itself, from our website. That way it'll auto format in, anything you're viewing it on. You can export it to print because it has a print option through the native website, and build your own schedule, that kind of thing. It'll be a lot easier to access, because I totally understand why there was accessibilities with that, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen again. And everyone in convention, everyone on convention staff's in agreement with that for sure. So that'll be at least that, and so that's taken care of. The event dates, the venues, the AV loadout, the schedule, and then of course for the actual submission form. I know it is now just over 3 months away before actual convention, which is not a lot of time. So, I did take a preliminary look at the submission form for last year. I noticed that I wasn't sure how much was in it that was going to need to be revised, but it looks like all it is just the policies are fine. The policies in there are fine. We have had no issues with the actual policies itself. All it just really need to change is the dates according to in the form. I just update the years, make sure the days are correct. Just kind of simple things, and then just wherever the rooms are mentioned, if the panel rooms are mentioned in there, then just make that like a TBD thing. But I'm thinking what I might do actually, because I am strange. I don't want to say strangely awake. I am unexpectedly awake because I don't know why the fuck I have not had the ability to stay awake properly, like for so long. And there's one thing that I work overnight, but two, it's like I remember when I took that week off back in August. Like what was supposed to be over was it supposed to be over my girlfriend's birthday? It was supposed to be over another event. I think it was for my girlfriend's birthday. And there was supposed to be an event that I think there was supposed to be an event that we were going to be running at that time. But even though I wasn't working, I was only able to stay. Typically you sleep for 8 hours, stay awake for 16. I was the opposite. I was like, I could only stay awake for 6. I could only stay awake for like 6 to 8 hours at a time, and I was sleeping for like double that. And like I'd wake up like 6 to 8 hours. I'd be up for like 6 to 8 hours. I'd sleep for like 6 to 8 hours. I'd wake up for like 4. I'd sleep again for another like 6. It was all over the place. I don't know why the fuck. Get it for the head pat. Vale, good to see you as well. We're going to shout out to happy Friday evening to you. Well, hey, how's the week? Looking forward to the weekend. Good to see you. Thanks for keeping your bread cat both head pat. Ow. And of course you got a count. We got like the angel and her devil thing on the shoulder going here. We got Vale giving us the head pats and hydrates. We got Louis just throwing shit at me. I love the dynamic with you guys. I always appreciate having you all in here. Is that a stinky cheese? Is that a stinky cheesy guy? I think, right? Yeah, it was stinky. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so yeah, the submission form only requires like minimal updating. So, my sleep could have been stinky. I know I'm the stinky catto. I do shower every morning though. I will say that. Before I go to work, before I go to work. But yeah, so the submission form does.
No. Ew.
Thanks, Beetle. So the submission form for that requires minimal updating. So thankfully, I'm going to update that on. I'm thinking. Well, what I'm thinking is this: considering that I'm surprisingly awake at this time, when normally I'd kind of feel like passing out in the overnight. Honestly, that's also kind of why I decided to push the Sunday Squad an hour later, is because I've been finding that it's been. When I first set it up, like I was able to stay up the whole night, like no problem. And usually like the 4 a.m. for my time was kind of the right balance of like, I'm up at this time anyway. And, I'm like usually fully awake. And like, I was able to, just run that time just fine. But I found, especially in the overnight, that when I go into the weekend, it's like my body just like instantly reverts back to like regular human sleeping hours. So I've been like going to bed. I've been like sometimes falling asleep at like 10 or 11 and like waking up at like 3 or 4. And it's like, what the fuck? This is like the opposite of what I normally am. And so, I decided to push it a little bit more to 5 just so I can get that, because I also kept falling into the nap trap, and I ended up pushing the time to like 5 anyway. And just was like, this is not fair. This is not fair to the Sunday Squad. It's not fair to Louis. It's not fair to like anybody else. The fact that I'm, pushing the time back on a moment's notice. I don't want to leave people hanging like that. And so I decided to at least kind of push it back to an extra hour, and kind of if I'm gonna be falling asleep before that anyway, then I might as well kind of make it, because my normal stream time is 7 a.m. my time. Just because I work the overnight, I know I usually start something between 7 and 7:30, but like that's usually when around the time that I get home for, because I finish work at like 6:15ish. Depends on when the relief shift comes in, because I work overnight security, and it's just like, and sometimes I get relieved at like 6:10, 6:15. Sometimes I'll be all the way to 6:30. So the time I arrive home, sometimes I get a breakfast before that. So the time I arrive home is kind of a little bit unpredictable. And so that's why my start time is between 7 and 7:30. But on the weekends, because I don't have to deal with the overnight shift, Well, it just really depends on when I'm available. And so, but because I've been, because I haven't been able to stay awake as much as I've been used to, that's usually ended up being me falling asleep like just before midnight and waking up like after something like 4 a.m., which has been weird. But the important thing is that the biggest thing is that I at least want to be awake for that. Because honestly, like the thing that makes tactical one of the things that makes full immersion tactical gaming so interesting to me, at least so appealing to me, I should say, it's very good mental exercise. Unironically, regardless of what people's opinions on firearms are and first person shooters, even immersive tactical gaming is very good it's very good for mental exercise, and gives you good strategy of how to approach things, how to approach a given space differently than just charging full on Rambo into something, expecting just blowing shit up. I love the octopus. Not gonna lie, that was one of my classic emote sets that I used to use in my DJ streams back when I used to do that. But yeah, so TL there with that is I like it helps keep the whole team based strategy well alive and good it helps as well for just actually it does kind of really help well for the field of a space planning, because when you know how to move through a space on a certain way, you know how to set it up a certain way either. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. That being said, the other kind of thought and idea of is during the week as well, what I might do. So I don't know if you all remember that one game, Backrooms Break, which was basically Backrooms with guns. But when I played it last time, this was kind of before I really had any experience with the tactical. What I think I might do I want to do another playthrough of it, but I want to kind of approach it. We're talking about, I just talking about, how the Sunday Squad the Sunday Squad is something that I always want to make sure that I always want to keep going. It's one of the things that I want to, it's going to be a staple of my programming for, as long as I'm around, basically, because it's good mental exercise. I see it as good mental exercise and good team-based training, and strategy building kind of thing. It gives you it kind of gives you a different approach on how to approach certain spaces, just by looking at them. But there's another game called Backrooms Break, which is basically Backrooms with guns and fully destructible levels, that I played a few months back. Hasn't really been updated since then. I think the last update came in May, actually. That was when the guy added endless mode. Yeah, exactly. It's a one man show, so the guy's running it by himself. Ahoy. But the thing with that is that because there is guns and there is at least some tactical features to it, you have your laser attachment, you have your sight. I don't think you have a silencer. But I think you have you can add a grip, but it doesn't really do anything. But case in point is because there are firearms in the game. And it's basically laid out like a kill house. I don't think you have the ability to lean though. I was gonna say, if they didn't have enough people to talk about con stuff, that I was kind of want to fall back into Risk of Rain 2, but I do have a pizza that's waiting for me as well. So, but I do also want to do the False Sun run, beating the False Sun with the False Sun to get the skin for that. But I don't think I want to do that right now is the only thing. Or do I? I don't know how long it's going to take though. I want pizza to get cold. I also have another friend over too. But we shall see. But the pizza, exactly. The pizza that I got this time is was barbecue chicken. And before I left the establishment that I picked the pizza at, I made sure to, because you get those shakers in the corner where it's you have the Parmesan, the oregano, and the chili pepper shaker. Now for one, I found that the Parmesan made I found that the oregano made a little bit too not umami, a little bit too not tangy, but it kind of threw it off a little bit. I know it's meant more for I think It's more of like tomato based pizzas because the barbecue sauce, obviously barbecue chicken pizza is going to be barbecue sauce based. But I basically just like I made it snow on my fucking pizza with a Parmesan for one thing because it's one of those things where they ask you to say when never happens, so you just end up just like dunking your pizza in like half the container, or like the whole container. I like to make it snow Parmesan on my pizza and add some crushed chili pepper. So before I left, I made sure to give it a nice carpet bombing of Parmesan and chili pepper. But yeah, so the important thing about the whole thing I was trying to get to. Let me finish the first point first. Yeah, Backrooms Break, considering it does have firearms with some tactical attachments, I might take another approach. I might do another run of that, but this time with a more immersive tactical mindset. So I pick up a weapon first if I can. I don't think you can lean in the game, which is unfortunate, but I'm gonna try and approach it more as a kill house type thing. So I want to go through there a bit more of a tactical approach to clear it out and to kind of like neutralize all the threats first before achieve the objectives, and then that'll probably be something I do because I don't have any obligation. I don't have any collab obligations this coming week. So I'll throw that somewhere in the schedule. This game's, I know, right? I mean, why is the person get the money? Good. I have not played that. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think the reason why the game, like, because I literally as soon as when it first came out, like, everyone was asking for co-op. I was one of those people that was asking for co-op with it. It is like the perfect game to run as a multiplayer game. Problem is, I think it was the destructive. Yeah, exactly. That would make it so good. Like, I would think that technology now, with the ability to have destructible environments combined with co-op, combined with like multiplayer, should be able to. Sound good? No worries. Thank you for lurking. Should be able to carry over pretty decently. Like, there should be enough power now. But yeah, that is one of those games. Like, because I do really love the like the Backrooms Escape Together. I do really love that in terms of how well it's done and like just the team play aspect of that. But when you have like proper firearms and stuff in an indestructible Backrooms environment, that is where shit gets real fun. And like you could actually run that as a proper squad if you could actually get the ability to do multiplayer, especially when you have a proper tactical squad I should say, available to do so. But I don't think the game's been updated since then, which is unfortunate because I would say that it had the most potential out of all the Backrooms games that I played so far. Just unfortunate that like for everything that was put into it, the guy, the dev just wasn't able to take it that much further. I mean, like I said, it is a one-man show, so I don't blame him for not being able to pull it to like push it that one step further. But I mean, like somebody's got to be able to pick up the torch and kind of make that happen. I would hope there's like a mod pack available for that would actually like do that. But that is one of the games that I'd love to see in a multiplayer. Backrooms Break, if possible. So I played the fuck out of that when it first came out, and I love that. And like that is kind of the ones that is made for. That is a game that I could absolutely see running well in a tactical group environment, especially if there's more versatility on the weapons that you get available to you. But that aside, I know that is not why. The one important detail that I'm pretty sure a lot of our local conventions people are here for. Now, I will say for other departments, I don't quite know yet when when exhibitor submissions are opening, mainly because that department is going through a change of leadership, which obviously involves a bit more orientation and whatnot. But that should be fairly. I would like to think that'd be by the end of this month for sure. And like holy shit, we're already like well over a week into the month. Where the fuck has the time gone? That would most likely be by the end of this month. It is going to be back in Elliott, I will say that. The Friday, because it is a Saturday and Monday con this time, I believe Friday evening will be available for exhibitor setup. And then, what else? Cosplay contest, swimsuit showdown. Those are going to be those as per usual. Open January 1st, close January 31st for submissions for that. Might push them a little bit if we need to. I'm not the one who actually runs the cosplay contest. I'm simply in charge. I simply manage the logistics for that. The person going to be running it this time is actually fellow VTuber Lakaios EXE, and they are amazing cosplayer as well. As you can probably tell from a lot of their cosplay building streams as well. That we usually push out later because like that's what we usually do the submissions for that later because what I don't want to have happen, the reason why I did them later is I don't want to have because it is limited space as well. I don't want to have an issue. We've had issues in the past where people would they would enter the contest really early when it first happened. They just to park their slot. Like they weren't decided at that point if they were actually going to compete in it, but they'd park their slot anyway, just to at least like get their spot held. And then they decide later if they're willing to commit to it. And what happens a lot of the time is people either don't get their shit in time or they drop out, often without telling you. Or they when it opens really early, they'll put their thing in to at least get them in there, and then they'll just forget about it, and they won't tell you dropped out until like a week before the event. And so now it's just like you base your submission cap based on the exact runtime of the event itself. Like, because I don't like overbooking events. That doesn't work for, especially if you get a full setup. That doesn't work for anybody. Under the expectation that people will drop out anyway, because that is a gamble. Like, that is the kind of gambling I do not want to let's go on. So that's why I like to that's why I like to push the submissions as late as possible. That way, when people actually submit into it, we know they're gonna be actually like competing, like they're gonna see it through. And so that's why we usually run that later on. And I think that's honestly that's the way that I prefer to do it myself. But those events are always open January 1st, close January 31st typically. Sometimes push it a little bit later for the submission window, depending on how many submissions we get. But that's what you can expect for that. And so that's covered at least what I know about artists, at least what I also know about cosplay contest swimsuit showdown. And then volunteers are going to open at some point too. I think we're pretty much always taking in volunteers, but the website itself still needs a bit of love and still needs a bit of updating. I can at least do my part on my own pages, but I don't want to be in charge of the web. I don't want to be overseeing the entire web because I already run too many fucking things, and I'm trying to cut back on that. And I end up usually giving myself more shit to run, which is kind of the opposite of what I want to do. Especially when I have something else to be planning on top of that. I'm getting a message side point. Unrelated. But yeah, so volunteers will probably be opening soon as well. I can't remember who runs that. It's been a while. Not that's important here because the email is the same anyway, regardless of who runs it. But most importantly, my department, the programming department, where all the panels happen and whatnot, and kind of everything else. I think what I might do is I'm gonna come back in the overnight. It's like I said, the form does not require much changing. Neither does the panelist like rules and guidelines. So what I'm probably gonna do actually is gonna come back to that in the overnight. Sorry. I'm gonna work through that while I'm doing like another productivity stream. And then I might try and have those open by the end of this weekend. So we might be able to start accepting panel submissions for February 15th to 17th by the end of November 10th. And so keep an eye out in the Facebook group, keep an eye on the website for that. I'll make sure to announce when everything's open. But you're not going to be expecting you're not really going to be expecting any changes. Like I think the policies that we have, it's been on the Canada have fun. I appreciate that. Thanks so much for the well wishes, Agus. I appreciate that. But yeah, so panel submissions for the part. So yes, panel submissions going to be hopefully by the end of this weekend if I can get that done during the overnight. And because I know it is also a long weekend with the Remembrance Day being on Monday. Also, I'll not be available on tomorrow afternoon because I'm getting some photos taken of my car. Nice. Love geometry. Love nice shapes and sizes. So So yeah, that is going to be what's happening with that. Yeah, the policies. Oh god, I just recently heard of another convention that is doing a thing where, because one person decided to show something a little bit fucked up during an all ages panel, needs it's true. Hey, I can conjure an apple just fine. I can conjure an apple. I'm a level 5 apple conjurer, so I have no problem with that myself. But like, well, yeah, so, another local convention that is adjacent to us. Somebody was of the bright idea of showing something that was definitely not all ages at an all ages panel, and then they put in the policy for the following year, where every single panelist, no matter what level panel they're running at, even if it is all ages, they have to submit every source of photo and video content, any source of media content to the panel. To their programming department for review 2.5 months before the convention is supposed to run. All those panels, like, I know, right? You're the one that actually, I think you were the one that mentioned to me. No, it was somebody else that mentioned to me in the first place, but you were the one that like gave the most info on it, and it's just like, well, that is something that I still have at least enough faith in people that if somebody's gonna fuck it up, they're the ones that are gonna get fucked over for it. I'm not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater and expect literally everybody to have to deal with the aftermath of one person ruining it for. I'm not gonna let one person ruin it for everybody. Basically, at least I have enough faith in people that like I believe most people should be able to behave. Hey, Peter, what's going to be? Hey, there we go. Dark Tales, good to see you. Welcome, Chuck. Happy it's a Friday night to you. Evening. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. How's it? Good to see ya. Just let me know. I know, right? But yeah, I am not gonna expect people to. I'm not gonna expect people to have their panels ready. Like it is 2.5 months now. Wait. Okay, not a little over 3 months away. That is like you'd have to have your panel info ready in the next 3 weeks for that to even make the whole review. Like that to even make the review cutoff. Let's fucking go! Yeah, hell yeah! There we go. That's a spirit. But I was talking about how the other convention, somebody showed something that it wasn't quite all ages at one all ages panel, and now everybody has to suffer for it. And it's like, ahoy! And it's like that is not what I'm gonna be. That is not what's gonna happen at our convention for sure. At least under my watch. As far as I'm concerned, because I'm not gonna punish everybody for the actions of one person. On top of that, I know for a fact well enough because I am also I'm also one of those people as well. I do not have all my stuff ready 2.5 months before a convention is supposed to happen. If I'm refreshing my content, it's going to be at least like, within usually the last 2 weeks before the convention happens. Especially when it comes to main contests and stuff. I don't know how much I'm going to be running. I do want to bring in a lot more VTuber content in general at this convention. So that'll be, but that is something that I won't have ready 2.5 months before it's supposed to happen. We're gonna well, thanks for the lurk. So yeah, TLDR is I'm gonna try and have the panel submission form open by the end of this weekend. So that is really the important info that I have to give on that. The number of rooms we'll have is probably good about the same. We unfortunately do not have EC. You got an idea? What's up? What you got? What you got from their Dork Tales? If that is your real name, of course. Not the I know exactly who that is. Don't worry. Well, yeah. What you got for me? I also will say that I have, ever since I got into VTuber, I'm doing a lot more yapping on top of that. So, like, it basically, everything that I get to run in terms of, like, just chatting streams is essentially the same as what we do with the Good Morning Skinnicon on like, the third day. Just kind of a bit more in, like, an everyday thing. So, I've been gotten, like, oh my god, I've gotten so used to it, just yapping my ass around about a Sanic! As in one tube and one IRL. What are you thinking? Like, how does that work? Like one, one video. Okay, I see what you mean. Like, kind of like a mix between an IRL streamer and a VTuber streamer. Those, I've seen those happen before. I think I will, if we can make it happen, sure. Because as well, like one of the things I'm planning on doing, like I bought a Razer Core X external GPU. Comes with a RX 580 in the box, for my laptop, the laptop that itself ran 1080p videos but can't run games worth shit. I am now capable of running my VTuber setup at like mobile. I can run it at the con, and that's what I kind of plan on doing. Is bringing that laptop on my box over to convention, actually running this whole shebang. Maybe not streaming it because the internet is kind of garbage. I don't want to risk. I don't want to use my phone to tether to stream out. But I'll at least have this set up to be able to run locally, and so I'll be able to. I'll have that with me. All I need to really bring to make that happen is I think the laptop, the graphics card, my iPhone, obviously, maybe a hotspot router. Something to tie the Wi-Fi. I maybe I'll use USB. I don't know. For the iPhone. Exactly. Just stick me in the old. Actually, I'll be honest. If you stuck me in the communications closet, I might have direct access to the network. That'd be fun. That actually work really, really well. But yeah, what I do, if we get more VTuber content, because I do want to bring some of my VTuber friends as well. Is I want to do the whole VNet collab thing like on site, so that like I can be present in the VTuber setup with them in the room, and I think that'd be interesting. I think a lot of people might be interested in that, especially as long like instead of me just taking their video on a Discord limit. Oh yeah, right, because you kind of just throws my you just kind of throw everything at me, and then I just kind of pick and choose, right? Yeah, I don't know yet, because that's the thing. I mean, honestly, hey, just if you want, just throw a menu at me, and it'll be like ordering from a buffet. Just interesting. Link me to there. Send me a DM on the old Facebook, and I'll check them out. Maybe we could link to that as well. But because I have a shit ton of people. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me one second here. Do I have the? Nope. I think I have the. I don't want to have the computer sound blasting through my OBS here. Okay. I think we're safe. Let's have a little look-see. Oh, that mosquito's still there. Oh, gotcha. I can already tell they have a damn nice setup. I can say that for sure, for 100%. Just gotta figure out what the hell I want to have them do. So I'll figure that out. They got the throwables too. Excellent. I can expect them to set up proper throwables too, definitely. If you got proper audio, if you got at least proper throwables, and you got a very clean graphics presentation, then I already respect the hell out of that. Man, stuff. Nice. I can. Oh, they're kind of self-made. I can definitely appreciate that as well. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I want to see who's available, who I might have available on my end too. 100%. Yeah, that'll be definitely a bit more of like a later thing. Not like right away, because I like But if you want to give me like a kind of like a menu of your offerings, it's not like I'm ordering off a restaurant here. If I order some of your panels, does they come with a side of free breadsticks? Because I would love some of that. But yeah, just give me a list of what you have, and excellent. Yeah, please do. That'd be perfect. Because I don't want to have you go through the effort of like submitting everything like formally, and then me not being, because that'll be a waste of like I don't want to waste people's time like that. So hell, Talos, fuck yeah. You got me sold already. I'll gladly take that. No end to Hey, yo, exactly. But yeah, that'll be just give me the menu. I'll make sure to allocate space for you, and however much space I have left to fill after all's said and done. Now, because I'll make sure you get at least a few in as well. Like, if you let me know as well, because I don't want to, I don't want you to throw me like 10 and then like not know how many you're getting in. It's like I also don't want to like have you throw me 10 and only give you like 1 or 2. How many would you like to run? Like, what's the minimum amount that you would like to run? Because I will make sure that I at least get your minimum in for sure, and then anything else I have room for after that, then I can throw in as well. 3 or 4? I can do that. 4 is a nice even number. How does 4 sound to you? Does that be like, and I forget, do you want to, not that, exactly. We'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Because I was thinking, considering it's a 3-day con, would a minimum of 1 per day be better for you? Was that kind of like, is that the way, or would you rather do like 1 on one day, 2 on another day, 3, like 1 on the third day kind of thing? It depends. But yeah, 3 or 4 sounds reasonable. 3 or 4 sounds, I can definitely make 3 or 4 happen. Ahoy! Definitely make 3 or 4 happen. And then, yeah, well, where I have room, yeah, 3 to 4, sorry. I know I'm repeating myself a lot. That is kind of nature how I talk in general. My apologies. I will make 3 or 4 happen for sure as a minimum. So then sounds good. Enjoy your vacation, by the way. That sounds awesome. Perfect timing. Going, getting warm and doing whatever you need to for getting into the winter too. Yeah. So I'll make 3 to 4 happen for sure, and then throw me the rest. I'll put the rest in wherever I have room. That way you get your guaranteed minimum that you want to run, and then anything else after that is a bonus. But yeah, that form will definitely. And you don't worry about submitting anything now, of course, because I'm basically pre-allocating you regardless. And then, but for anybody else who wants to get a jump on things, I should have that form up and running by the end of this weekend. Hell yeah, exactly. We're getting shit done. We're getting on top of it. Oh, I forgot to snooze in the ad break, but anyway, yeah, we'll get that done, and then yeah, so don't worry about any sort of major changes happening to the submission forms or anything. And it's going to basically, or the policies as well, especially because, like I said, we personally have not had any issues so far at our convention during the time that I have been in charge of the programming department specifically. So I think we've achieved in kind of a nice happy medium of what we expect from panelists and what panelists should expect from us. So it's basically what you see up there already. It was basically going to be the same thing, just with the dates and the locations updated. So that's going to be not a problem. Yeah, then so even if the rest of the website might still show some old information, I'll at least make sure that the rules and guidelines have been updated for the panelists. And then we'll link to the actual submission form. And that'll be just, sorry, perfect time to add a burp at. That'll be just business as usual. Y'all know what to expect basically from that. If you are a first-time panelist as well that are tuning into this as well, it's very chill is what I can say. It's very chill. So just admit your thing, and then yeah, I start the schedule planning. The submission deadline is usually by the end of New Year's. By the start of New Year's Day, I should say. So when the ball drops, the submission drops as well. Typically, if we get enough content by then I'll start building the calendar live on stream. Well, because I usually build the draft calendars or did I do that last year? I can't. And I built the core draft calendar just with like the info that with the core programming that we had, like the main events, I should say. The main events always fit in those same spots. Sometimes I like to pre-allocate like panels as they come into the form, but I don't think I did that. I don't think I did that last year because I drafted everything. I waited until the end of submission because I'll admit I kind of wanted to use it as content, which I did, and the drafting of the actual schedule. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember what I did. Now. I waited until the submissions were done. And I drafted each round of the actual of the draft schedule because I do my drafts and team up, and then I convert them over to schedule for final presentation. My team up drafts, I did those on stream. That's right. I waited until stream to do those, and so I built the draft of that on each stream on each session. That was I think starting in like January or whenever the hell I figure we had enough content because usually I wait until I know how much content we have. If we're light, I push the submission deadline out a little more. If we're heavy, welcome back, Neon Pals. If we're heavy, then I close it out and then we're good to go. But yeah, so submissions should start by the end of this weekend. They should wrap up initially by the end of the year, by the end of this year. So like end of December 31st.
If we don't have enough hours, then I'll expand them out more. If we do, then I will start holding scheduled drafting streams. Send out the team up calendar draft to all the panelists that are accepted after the day after each point for feedback. Lather, rinse, repeat. Then once everything's finalized, we do the final scheduling stream where we port everything from the team up into Sched proper. And then we send that out to publish. Then we're good to go. And so, yeah, for all panelists that are checking in for that, that is basically the plan for that. You know what to expect. Really not surprised. Nero, good to see you as well. Jack's game. Happy Friday evening to you. Opening well, Thanksgiving is good to see you. Looking forward to the weekend. And yeah, so that's that. That's all I really have for now for convention updates on my side as well, from what I know myself. And probably do another one of these in about a month, and we will see where we are there, and we'll go from there accordingly. But for now, hope you all have a great start weekend. I'll see you back in the overnight where I get a bit more things done. And it's only been out streaming for an hour. This has been a nice little power hour. We'll get a proper power hour during the overnight while they get the music tunes back on and whatnot. Maybe have a bit more banter. But for now, from Meow, let's see where we're going to go to. I think Jakahata's still going. Let's see. Let's have a look. See who's available for a little bit of raid here. Oh, he ended early. I don't know when he's going to end, actually. You know what? I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball. I'm going to raid to probably the most well-known Bobby Niku streamer currently. I'm going to throw y'all at Porcelain Mage, who's currently playing Minecraft. 696 viewers, nice. At 6 hours 9 minutes. Jesus Christ. It's such a nice happening right now. Yeah, so see y'all back in about 4-ish hours. For now, gather the clipboards. And thank you for joining us. Of course, thank you to my local panelists as well for hopefully I was able to provide you some decent info for that. But I want to do the false sun run at some point. Of course. Thank you, Louis, for that as well. Running over in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are welcome. Ciao from you.
Kicking off your workday with a fresh-baked feline frenzy.
You're watching and listening to Nyongo Bongo Dongo.
Now let's get this bread.